Hello everyone, again from outside. Another one of these secret location days during the novel coronavirus. Out here in the woods, here in the Bronx. But again, I have to share stuff with my legions of fans. That's you guys. Can't let you down, no matter what. I have a mask, by the way, in my pocket. I meant to put it on before doing this, but I forgot. So sorry about that. Maybe next time. But I want to bring up a point that highlights one of my strategies when looking at things going on in the world today. And it actually comes from a movie, A Few Good Men. And there's a brilliant bit of dialogue in that movie where the head of the Guantanamo Navy base, there's a Marine colonel, Colonel Jessup, played by Jack Nicholson, and the young lawyer, played by Tom Cruise, gets Jessup to admit that his orders, the top colonel, his orders would never be disobeyed. Cruise, right, this young attorney, Lieutenant Kaffey, grills Jessup 6 ways to Sunday. Would anyone ever go against your orders? No. Would anyone defy you? No. Right? And Jessup goes on these wonderful speeches about how when you're in a battle and war, your commanding officer is everything, and the Marines don't do that, and everything is from the top, and Jessup's orders are always followed. So Cruise then asks, right, because this Private First Class Santiago, young Marine, bottom of the barrel, Private First Class as low as you get. This private is killed on base. And Jessup and the top brass's story is they had put in for him to be transferred. Santiago, right? He was going to be transferred off the base early in the morning, but he was hazed. He was murdered before he could leave. And so Jessup says that the orders were very clear to the entire base, to all the Marines and Rifle Security Company Windward. And the orders were Santiago was not to be touched. So the top brass goes to court with Santiago was on the base. The orders were that he was not to be touched. And Kaffey drives an 18-wheeler through that logic by saying, if Santiago wasn't to be touched, and the order was that he was not to be harmed in any way, why transfer him off the base? If your orders are always going to be followed, and they always are followed, why the transfer order? And that catches Jessup flat-footed, because then he starts hemming and hawing and saying, Santiago is a substandard Marine. We felt his life would be in danger. And Cruise, Lieutenant Kaffey, had gotten Jessup to say earlier that his orders are always followed, and no one would be in any danger if the order was that Santiago wasn't to be touched, right? So it's the immortal line of, if you gave the order and your orders are always followed, why would Santiago have to be transferred off the base? And if you take that kind of analysis and you look at how we're being ruled over by our corporate government media overlords, it's easy to do the same thing now. And with the novel coronavirus, we're not allowed to go to the bar or the playground. And I mean that. The playgrounds are closed here in the Bronx. I can't go to the little playground with my 11-year-old and play volleyball because, well, the virus. And we can't go to the library, can't go to school. I'm at home doing lessons from the house. So we can't do any of those things. The only things you can do, clearly, are go to the grocery store and the liquor store. And a lot of the bodegas are open as well because they kind of count as grocery stores. So you can buy groceries, you can buy lotto, and you can buy booze. Now, if we can't go to the library, if we have to close schools and playgrounds, why would we leave grocery stores open where everybody has to go? If you look at epidemiology, thought I was being snuck up on over there. It's a big rock. If you look at epidemiology, that's completely ludicrous. Everybody has to go to the grocery store. And it's the only place you can go. So if you were trying to stop the spread of a virus, why would you allow everybody to only go to the same place? It doesn't make any sense. Later on today, I might go to the liquor store. I might go to the grocery store. And you know who else has been there before me? Everybody. Does that make any sense to you? If we have to close schools and playgrounds and libraries and small businesses, why can we leave grocery stores open? And if grocery stores can't be closed, which I understand, and I actually agree with, you can't close the grocery store. You're going to have, there are going to be serious problems. Then obviously the decision of our overlords to close everything was the wrong one, was a bad one. What it means is there has to have been a better way. So of the two things left I have to tell you, one of them is the only person who's talking like this in mainstream corporate media that I can see is Tucker Carlson. But he's on Fox. So you and your knee-jerk friends who can't get past that are in the dark. Carlson seems to be the only one. Again, I'm surprised he's still with Fox. I can't believe they let him on the air. He says too much truth. The second thing I want to tell you about is how this is going to play out. Because they are corporate Hollywood, campus, government, media overlords have closed everything. Everything is cheap. The stock market has crashed. People are, how many massive numbers of unemployment claims? Businesses are going to go under. Your local diner might go bankrupt. There's a new Mexican place down the street from us. I'm in the Bronx, hello. And it was brand new, and it was just starting to churn. It was just starting to do good business. I don't think they're going to come out of this alive. I think that business is gone. The barbecue place next door to that is always on thin ice. These places are going to go under. And the affordability of the sites, it'll be cheaper. So again, stocks are cheap. Real estate's going to be cheap. Everything's cheap. Your federal government just passed a multi-trillion-dollar bill. And the cheese was the $1,200 that you get. That's the cheese in the trap. And just like everything else, the trap is going to snap your neck. And you're too stupid to see it. Because think about the corporate handouts, like I mentioned to you last time, in the stimulus bill. They're going to be fine. So think about it this way. The richest, let's say 5,000 people in the United States are going to be taken care of, and more than taken care of, by the federal government and this stimulus bill that everybody voted for. AOC voted for it. Bernie Sanders voted for it. The Squad voted for it. Everyone voted for this stimulus package. 96-0 in the Senate. And it's a big handout to corporations. So everything is cheap. People have lost their jobs. And while things are cheap, the only people who can buy anything are the ultra wealthy elite. You see how this works? It's like if I gave you a windfall of 75 grand and I said, you know what? Throw it at the stock market now. Buy Boeing. Buy Chesapeake Energy. Buy Apache Oil. Those are, Apache and Chesapeake are dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. I thought Boeing was going to teeter before the coronavirus. They're going to be fine. And I said, all right, buy. And those stocks, let's say they go up in the next 2 years 10 times. Let's say they go up 30 times their value. If they go up 10 times their value and I gave you 75, you now have 750 grand. Does that change your life? Well, multiply that by a few thousandfold and you have what your federal government just did to you. Everything is cheap. And here's the crazy part. You know how people are out of jobs now? It means their health benefits are suffering or non-existent. Guess what? Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I don't think I am. Guess what's coming? Trump care. Now, he's not going to say, all right, we're going to have, national health care like they do in Canada or in Britain. The benefits and trade-offs are debatable, too long to talk about now. But you can write it in blood that Trump, who's been, a friend to corporations, let's just say, big pharma, big medical, are going to be tied to the hip to that bill. He's going to outflank the Democrats again. He's going to outflank all the liberal progressives again. And it's going to be Trump care and Bristol Myers Squibb, Johnson & Johnson, all the big GlaxoSmithKline, all of the giganto big pharma companies, Pfizer, they're going to make out like bandits. The medical insurance companies are going to make a killing. And they just keep doing it. I don't know what else to say. And I'm not a pessimist. I'm a very optimistic person. I still think it's a great time to be alive. I'm not trying to be despairing. The fact that I can sit here in an undisclosed secret forest location in the Bronx and tell you this tells you that it's not a bad time to be alive. We could be serfs on the manor, right? Literally instead of proverbially. But it's really something else to watch these people do their thing and watch the members of the herd just parrot everything they say. I work with people who are like, flatten the curve, stay home, hashtag flatten the curve. Yeah, nobody wants anyone to get a virus. But this foolish choice, let's just throw all of our chips on the table and quarantine everybody and shut down everything. Is that the best way to do it? And now, guess what? You, me, the guy over there, the person in that bus, later on, we all have to go to the same place. We have to buy groceries. Does that make sense to you? If we're going to shut everything down, doesn't it have to be everything? How can you keep grocery stores, liquor stores, and bodegas selling lottery tickets open? So now we are all funneled into the same pen. Maybe that was the plan in the first place. I don't know. But that's it for today. I hope everybody is well. Stay healthy. Take care of your own health, intellectual, spiritual, physical health, and surround yourself with like-minded people. Think for yourself and write your own script. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you on the blog and on the internet.